Well, hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is, for those of you who don't know, my name is David Hughes. I am Director of Facilities here. And in light of this being Emergency Preparedness Month, I was asked to give a little presentation so that the residents will be more aware of what to do in the event of an emergency. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Thank you, Phil. So, what to do to be ready for an emergency? What we suggest and what has been suggested throughout across all the healthcare facilities is that you want to have a 3-day supply of like water and food, non-perishable. And what I would suggest is, if you keep water to the side for this event, that you change it out every so often. So when you go to the store, you buy more water, replace the water that you have, finish that up, and keep cycling it. That's what we do for our healthcare here. We're required to have a 3-day supply for healthcare, for food and water. And what we do is just alternate the water. We take it out after it's been there so long so that it's not old water, basically. So you want to do that with your food, your perishable, so non-perishable foods as well. Store a flashlight. That's always good to have with extra batteries. Have your medications for 7 days. And also it's very important that you have a list of what your medications are. So in the event there is, and we'll go over some examples of events, that there is an event that you do not, if you should lose your medication or run out of the medication, that you do have the list, and it will help the people that are helping you obtain the exact meds that you need. Keep copies of your driver's license, insurance cards, any emergency contacts is very important, and medical history, any allergies or any conditions that you may have. These are all very important to have with you or to keep in the event of emergency, that they're easy accessible to get. What we would like to see is like a go bag. Mobility in the go bag would be anything with mobility like your cane or walker, if those of you have walkers or canes, keep that there. A change of clothes, blanket, any hygiene items, and small comfort items like photos or book or puzzle. So if we were to evacuate or go to, say, come here to in the event of the emergency, everyone were to come here, you at least have something to do instead of just sit there. You'll have like a book to read or a puzzle you can put together. It's just something to keep in your back of your mind if you are getting these things together. During an emergency, most important thing is to stay calm. So you know, the staff here, we go through exercises annually, and we go through training that is required for us. And in that training, we have like tabletop events that we'll go through. We'll do an actual exercise in a simulation of an event, and there's also like online training. So the staff here are pretty well educated on what to do in an emergency. So what we like to give you peace of mind that we will be here to help you. So you're not just thrown out there into the wolves that, okay, this is what's going on. But coming here just alone to see what to do is going to help you and going to give you a little bit more peace of mind in the event of an emergency. Remember to keep your mobility aids close so that if there is an emergency, you can grab them quickly. If you do need help, it is very important to let someone know. Do not try to do this on your own. If you are unable to walk to the stairwell, go down the stairwell, please let someone know, let your neighbor know, let a staff member know. If the police come or any emergency services come, that you are able to tell them and they will assist you. One thing, do not use the elevators unless you are told it is absolutely okay. It's very important, and I know in the talks that you've seen with the fire, that they preach that, and we want to maintain that, to do not get on an elevator in the event of a fire. You've seen when I know Rob, he's been on an elevator when the power went out, and it wasn't pleasant. So please do not use the elevators. If you must stay inside, shelter in place. When we say that, there might be an event going on outside that you don't want to go to the outside in that emergency. You want to shelter in place. So what you want to do is stay away from windows. A good example is if there's a tornado, hurricane, high winds, they can break the windows. So you want to go inside your apartment. Go into a hallway, go into a room that does not have a window. Keep water and snacks nearby. That way it's accessible. You don't know how long that event is going to take place. Have your medications and your medical devices ready just in case. If you must evacuate, bring your go bag, what I talked about earlier. Have it ready so you can walk out. Also have your medications, your glasses, hearing aids, etc. Follow staff for emergency worker instructions. Again, staff will be prepared. They know what to do in the event. They will be there to assist you. So listen to what they're saying, where to go, and how to get there. Let helpers know if you need special transport or medical equipment. That's if you have an oxygen that you need to take with you or any other kind of medical device. Please let a staff member know that you need that and you need to take that with you. After the emergency is very important. A lot of times when there's an emergency, you see it all over the news. They're going to say Lafayette Hill had a tornado go through. That goes out on the news. So it's important that you contact your family as soon as possible so they're not flooding our phones to try and get in to find out where you are and how you're doing. It's very important if you could just get a hold of your family, get a hold of any of your emergency contacts and let them know you're okay. Report any of the missing medications or equipment if you had to evacuate and you've lost that. It's important that you report to a staff member immediately that you have lost that so that we can help you turn around and get that back. Stay alert for updates. We will continue to send updates throughout the facility, what's going on, so that you will be updated and know exactly what and where and when to go. Now let's look at the types of emergencies that you may experience. And one that I don't know how many attended the fire marshal that was here that went over the fire drill or fire alarm to do in the event of a fire alarm. But the most important thing for independent living is, first of all, get away from the fire. We're trained the staff are trained in the acronym RACE, which is to rescue if someone's close by a fire, to rescue them, to alarm, which would be to call 911 or pull a fire station, and they're located at each exit. And then contain the fire, which means close the door. I don't know if you remember, those who did attend the fire marshal, he had a great picture up here of a fire that was in a house. The house was engulfed with flames, and they shut the door for a bedroom. When the fire was all put out, they went back in, they opened the bedroom door. Nothing was disturbed in the bedroom. So no smoke damage, there was nothing. It was perfectly well intact. So that's important. When you leave your apartment or whatever, shut the door so to protect everything else inside your apartment, and it goes for any other like office doors. We do the same thing. When you do exit, we want you to exit out the nearest exit, and we like to go as a group so we're easily able to find everybody that's in the facility. It's been told here to go to the flagpole out front. But if your building is on the other side, away from the flagpole, I just want to see you outside that exit. We'll come around and take names and make sure everybody's accounted for. Severe weather and natural disasters. in this area, we can see tornadoes. Hurricanes, not so much. We'll get the tail ends of hurricanes, but blizzards we definitely will get, and earthquakes and floods. Earthquakes, not so much. For California, I say yes, but you might get a little one here and there here, but it's not really a big disaster. But we certainly could get floods as well. But just keep in mind, things like a blizzard, we may have this campus cleared pretty quickly, but I know the last storm that we had, the roads outside of here were not cleared. So it could take a while for dining services to get food brought in. It could take a while for electricity to get restored, even though we do have a cogen plant, which hopefully will take care of everything. But it could be days. So again, this is why you want to be prepared that you could be in your apartment for 3 days without certain utilities. So you want to keep that in mind, especially for these disasters. Staff will follow the facility disaster plan, which we do have, and the staff are aware of it. And we go through it every year with the staff members. They all know it. They have to do online training that is in particular to the disaster training. So will be able to help you and assist you in this type of environment. Residents may be asked to move to designated zones. This room could be one of them in the event of a disaster. And only evacuate if you were to, and there is safe transportation. So we will never say, if there is something going on outside, that please don't go out and do it on your own. Wait till you're told and make sure that there is safe transportation that we will have for you. Another disaster could be violence or security threats. And what I mean by that is we could have an active shooter, which you see on the news just about every other week now. You could have an intruder, an aggressive visitor, or resident altercation. What you want to do in these situations, if you see something like this going on, the first thing you want to do is call 911. Do not call the front desk first. Call 911 first. Then call the front desk if you still can. But the important thing is to get the police here on the way. I can't stress that enough. Some people just want to dial 0 and say, hey, this is going on here. Let's get 911 on the way first, and then we can alert everyone in the facility itself. You always hear when it comes to like a shooter, an active shooter, run, hide, and defend. Well, that's all good if you can run. So we like to see it done in that order, and anytime you go to a seminar, that's what they say, run, hide, and then defend, which means if someone were to come in that front right now and we heard that it was an active shooter, we would all take off out this door. Well, that sounds good, but I don't know how many people here can run, but I would venture to say it's not a lot. So what we want to do then is hide, and we want to shut a door. We want to block it. So if you're in your apartment and you hear that there is an active shooter or you hear there's a threat going on, you want to close your door, lock it, put something across it. Make sure that it's not an easy entrance for someone to get in. One thing about active shooter is they look for the least resistance to get to you. So if they come in, check your door, and it's locked, they're going to go on because they want to get to somebody quick to be able to do some damage. So best thing to do is pull your curtains down, pull your shades down, go hide, turn your lights out, turn TV off, turn radio off, and just stay still until help comes and knocks on the door and lets you know that it is help and that you are secured and that you are able to unlock and open the door back up. Make sure you do silence your cell phones. Last thing you want to do is have that ring and somebody's looking for you and they know where you are. So, trained staff in the de-escalation for resident to resident aggression will be called upon. So there will be somebody called in that event to try and de-escalate if there is an event with a resident to resident issue. If there's an aggressive visitor, a trained staff member will come to try and de-escalate that threat or whatever's going on. Chemical spill. I don't know if you all remember a couple years ago when the train came off the tracks. There was some cars on there, the tanks that had tanks. They could have had something very serious, and I know some homes were evacuated. I know we were not, but just think if that was something and that we had to evacuate, or what you want to do again is shelter in place, which means you close all your windows, you lock your doors, we want to turn off the HVAC system, whereas your air conditioning units do not bring in outside air, but our central systems do, which is like the hallway, the common space. So maintenance would then turn off any of the HVAC. You want to move away from the windows and any exterior walls. And then one important thing would be to put damp towels around the doorway, so if there is any air that gets through there, you can block that off. So to keep any of the chemicals from coming in. And then you stay like that until we get an all clear, which would be given to us by the township or through the hill itself. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Is there a loudspeaker system throughout this building?
There is not. We I'm sorry. The question was, do we have a loud speaker system throughout the facility? And we do not. We do have a system that we are working on that will notify you, and you've gotten notifications in the past that we hope to get it on everybody. We're working on it now that we're doing the new phone system, that you will get a phone call and an alert that will let you know what is going on. It will also text you, and hopefully you will get an email as well. So if you're on your computer, you would see it. So we're working on that system now. We've had the system, but now with the new phone changes, we're working on adopting that to all the new systems that we've put in place. That's a great question. Yes. There is staff around. You're not forgotten. You're not the adopted child up there. We would send staff up there to assist you. Any other question? Yes. The question is, those who live in the cottages and villas, what happens there? And I will be honest with you, you would be the last ones probably. First is going to be healthcare that would be taken care of, then the main building. But you guys would basically shelter in place when you are in your house. The biggest thing there is the notification that we would be giving to you what to do. We will come around definitely if there is something, I don't know, if the tornado hit, we would definitely be on site. The township would also be here also to help us for anything like that, as well as any snowstorm or that you would see. Sure. We are taping this, as a matter of fact. So it will be out there for residents. I don't know how that...
It'll be up in 5 minutes after this.
It'll be up in 5 minutes after this.
I'll send out a link for everybody.
If you want to print out, we'd be more than happy to send that out. Yes?
I was here when there was an alarm that went off, and I was near the desk, and I was told by some of the people standing there, you could use that elevator because it always works.
Okay, the alarm that she wanted, the comment was that she was at the desk, and a fire alarm went off, and she was told that she was able to use the elevator. I don't know where that fire alarm was. If it was in a different building, then that's a whole different story. So it was probably over at another building, and at that point, it would be okay to use an elevator in your building, as long as your alarm is not going off. Yes.
Does the staff have periodic trial sessions, periodic practice sessions, or what to do in an emergency?
Yes. The question is, does staff have periodic testing of emergencies? And we do. We were required by the state that every staff member who goes through these, there's countless hours of online training that we provide. There's a program here, it's called Relias, that each staff member has to go through. Plus, we do tabletop events where we'll simulate something going on. A tabletop, we'll sit around and we'll discuss how we would handle that, who would do what, and that's normally the upper management that will do that. And then they take it back to their staff and say, in this event, this is what we're going to do. This is what we decided. This is what we talked about. Then we also have your simulated events like a fire drill that we do an annual fire drill for the whole facility. In the healthcare, it's done monthly. So staff are very well trained in what's going on. They've been put through a lot of simulations on what if this event happens. And let's all be honest. It's a different story when you're in an actual moment. You try to eliminate as many mistakes as you can. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, because when you're in that situation, things are a lot different. But at least we have some knowledge and some training that we should be able to get through any type of event that goes on. Okay? Yes?
Is there a way to determine when a fire alarm is genuine or a false alarm? And a couple months ago, I think over a day and a half period, there were 3 alarms. One was because there was a leak in the sprinkler system, and that made it seem like there was a fire that needed to be extinguished. I think another was because someone was using a humidifier, and that set off the alarm. So, it's hard for us as residents to know, okay, is this something we absolutely need to evacuate for?
I'm sure everybody heard that, but just in case you didn't hear, he just wanted to know, is there a way for residents to know if there's a false fire drill or a fire alarm because of some recent events that have taken place in the sprinkler system or whatever. And the way we're trained as staff, and the fire marshal will stand here and tell you the exact same thing, is you treat everyone as if it's a fire. Hopefully when our new system comes up and running, that we'll be able to get notification that it's all clear, so that you're not in limbo for any amount of time, long amount of time. But you should treat every fire alarm as if it truly is a fire. I know it's an inconvenience, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Please don't allow yourself to get to the point where, like the boy who cried wolf, where it's just another false alarm, because it's going to be that one alarm that's going to get you. And I don't want to see that happen. And staff, they're not going to let that happen. Staff are trained to treat everyone as if it was a true fire. There's what I was explaining, that we're looking into. We do have it, but with the phone system and all changing, what it's going to do, it's going to notify you in the event of a fire or whatever, any of these emergencies, what's going on. It's going to keep. It's a communication tool to help you understand and let you know ahead of time or what's going on, so you can properly plan on what to do. Yeah. Yes. What it does, it sends out a mass notification, and it might say building D, there's a fire on 2nd floor. So if you're over here, stay away from building D. You can always exit horizontally. So if you were in D building, you can come over to another building. So you can come over to C building. Just get through the fire doors. That's the most important thing. No, yes, you have to answer the phone is correct. But you just sit there and listen to the message. And it'll let you know. All good questions. Yes.
Some of you were here, but about 10 years ago, the sprinkler system on the 4th floor under the ceiling there, it was a freezing winter, and it froze, and then broke. And in the middle of the night, we had water pouring down the walls. It was like we'd been at a waterfall. And so the 4th floor apartments were badly damaged. The 3rd floor, not as much, but also, and this floor, we were taken in our pajamas. We were in this room. They came in, got us breakfast. I mean, it was, we had our golden retriever with us, which was, she became the pet for everybody, but it was completely evacuated. And then it was probably 6 weeks before we could get back into our apartment. At that time, there were some open apartments, so when we were moved, we had to bring a card table and some chairs and whatever. We were moved to another apartment. We got free food. I mean, they managed, but it was an amazing time. The 4th floor things were, as I say, it took a long time to get them repaired. You know, ours not so much. But I just gotten all my closets done, and then they had to be completely emptied and all of that stuff. But it did happen, and we did have a good response, so we were pleased with that.
And that's a great story. I'm glad you brought that up. And there's a good example of staff stepping up. They know what to do. They knew where to put the residents and make sure that you're fed, well taken care of. And that's how we get through these things. Yes.
Back to the prior question. If you're doing with the new system and you're doing the call or that will include cell phones and things like that. You don't have to have a landline to get that call. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. Yes.
I have wondered, I don't know the answer. The electricity has gone off so many times. I always wondered, what about garage doors? I know at home, you have a string, and I never knew here, no one ever told me how I could get out of the garage if the electricity was on.
And that's a good question. She wanted to know how to get out of the garages. We do have battery backup system for some of them, and we are able to get them back open. Now, keep in mind, we do have the cogen. I know it hasn't been the greatest in the last few years, but we did this year update all the software. And when there is a power outage, the cogen will kick in. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to be up fully running to power this whole plant. So we've been testing it. We've been having great success. I'm having a lot of faith in it now. So hopefully moving forward that it all works. Any other questions? Okay, I'd like to bring Nicole up. She wants to go over a couple of things with you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dave. I'm Nicole Bennett. I'm the Director of Resident Services and Development here at The Hill, and I have 2 questions for you. So my first question is, does anybody have their pendant on them? Yeah, does anyone have their pendant? If there was an emergency right now and I fell down on this floor, who's going to press their pendant to get security for me? So I just want to take a moment to reiterate all of the stuff that Dave talked about, and one of the systems that we have in place that you can use 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it does not take holidays or weekends off, is your pendant system. So when you activate your pendant, that alerts to our front desk and our security, and we will come and someone will check on you and make sure you're okay. So it is an important part of our emergency response system, and I just want to, when I have the chance, to remind people, if you're out walking on the trails, and you're by yourself, please wear your pendant. The pendants, this new system that we got a couple years ago, you can wear them in the shower. So what the rule of thumb is you can wear them in the shower, but not the pool. So if you're concerned about the floors or about, being in the shower, wear your pendant. If something happens, it's right there. The worst place your pendant could be is sitting in the box next to your bed in the nightstand. That pendant is not going to be able to help you. So, as part of our system with the landlines, with the no longer having your phones hooked through the Hills landline system, that in the past, if you pressed your pendant, it would alert the front desk to let our security team know that there was an emergency. So going forward, if you have a true medical emergency, we always recommend that you call 911, right? We want to get the EMTs here as quickly as possible. If you can, press that pendant at the same time. That way, our security team will know. They can let the front gate know. So when the EMTs arrive, they can already have the garages open. We can have your emergency paperwork ready. We can let them know what building to go to. So again, that pendant is a great source for you, and just want to make sure I have everybody knows that and can go back and share that with their neighbors. Yes, Steffi? Yes, the question was if you currently have a neck, the lanyard style pendant, could you get that into a bracelet? You can exchange it. So you could bring it to the front desk, and we either have some available now or we can order more. So yes, you can do that. Mm-hmm. So my second question, just because this came up by a lot of questions, did anyone receive a phone call from me today letting you know that the pendant system was going to be down? And then did you get a second call from me saying that the pendant system was now back up and working? That is the system that Dave was referring to that we will use in the event of an emergency. I put one message in, and that message goes out by phone, text, and email. And we can send it in order, so that way if you answer the phone, you won't get a text or you won't get a email, or we can send it out that you would get all of the above. So that system that we use today, because we found out just a day or two ago that the system would be down, we didn't have enough time to get a memo out. We used our emergency communication system to get that message out to all of you. So in the event of emergency, that's the system that we would use. We are in the process of updating. We have to go through and update everybody's phone numbers in there because of the change that just happened. So in the next month or so, we're going to send a test message out to everybody, and that's what it will be. You'll hear me say, this is a test from the Hill at White Marsh. This is our emergency communication system. Please know that this is a test, and that will go out to everyone. But we have to go through and update all of the numbers now that we've done the landline change. So we're in the process of that. So, yes, Ms. Johnson. So the question is if she wore her pendant off campus, would it still work? No, it is a system that only works on our campus. It will not work at the White Marsh Foundation. It'll work on our walking paths, but not outside of the Hill. It is for on the grounds of the Hill only. So the question was, does it have GPS locating services? No, it does not. So what happens is when you press your pendant, there are repeaters in the ceilings and the houses and all over campus, and what it does is it picks up where you are. So if you were to be over by the theater and press your pendant, it would say your name. It would say Nicole Bennett, pendant pressed, theater, the Hill at White Marsh. Now, if I leave that location, security's going to go and look for you in the theater. So if you press your pendant, say if you're in the theater and somebody has an emergency and you press your pendant, that's where security is going to come to first, and then they'll start searching in a circle outside of that. But we say if you press your pendant, don't walk away. It does not have GPS abilities. So if you have an emergency and you press your pendant, in the event of emergency, you're probably not going to be able to move too quickly. Our team, though, will come out and it'll pick up the closest location. So it would say like that you were out by Lenape Lane or you were out by Briar Hill, and then they're trained on how to go out and then search the area. Mm-hmm. Yes? So the question was, will the mass communication system have both landlines and cell phones? Yes, it can have multiple phone numbers per person. Mm-hmm. Plus, yes, so it has the, so I actually have to put in a special code for text, which so it can do text, email, home phone. You have multiple phone numbers. I can put in, I think, up to 5 phone numbers per person. Mm-hmm. So the question was, what's the percentage of accidental pendant presses? I don't know the answer to that, but I'm sure if you ask Greg, because before we had this, I asked Greg, I said, if people pull their pendants out and we press a bunch of them by accident, what would happen? He said, nothing. I know they all work. So our team always says they'd rather have an accidental pendant press than someone not have a pendant press. So I don't know how many pendant presses are by accident, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. So they're good test opportunities for us. Any other questions? Yes?
If they call 911, should they push the press?
Yes. So Dave said, if you call 911, should you press your pendant? Absolutely. Yes, we want you to do both. So there are times where it would be better, you know, it's easier for you just to press your pendant, but if you know that you're in a true 911 situation, and you would know that, we want you to call 911 right away and press your pendant. What happens then is our team can respond at the same time as White Marsh EMS is coming. Plus then our team knows if that pendant goes off and they can't reach you, they know there's a true medical emergency. So someone's going to come to your apartment. They're going to then let the front gate know that there's an emergency, what building you're in, where you are. So there's a lot of things that can happen by doing both that really will save a lot of time, especially if it's, you know, you're in cardiac arrest, stroke, things like that. We want you to do both. Any other questions? All right, well, thank you so much to everyone for coming today. We will have this information on Touchtown. Uniguest will post the slide presentation on there, as well as we can make some copies available in the mail room, and we'll have this up under the slideshow presentation part. Thank you.